I've been trying really hard lately to try and figure out how to be a happier person, or how to not be a sad person, more importantly for me right now. I'm trying really hard um to avoid at all costs the kind of really the temptation of being a sad person, if that makes any sense. Um, and it's been pretty difficult and pretty confusing for the most part. So, right out of high school, and I'll keep this background brief, I took a gap year. I had just moved to a new state, and I actually went to high school in this new state for a couple months before graduating. And I was like, well, I want to get in-state tuition at college, so I'm gonna take a gap year. Turns out that wasn't necessary, by the way. But I'm gonna get a gap year, and meanwhile, I'll go explore stuff. I'll get a job. I'll learn some new things, and it was great for a while. It really was, and I had so much freedom, and I did all the fun things you can imagine a kid straight out of high school might want to do, you know. Until it came to a point where I went on a cruise. Okay, I know, and it was like the peak of everything. And I came back, and the cruise was over, and I didn't have that job anymore that I had at the time right before the cruise. I had to quit because my parents moved. And so I was there in my parents' basement, back from a cruise, thinking I don't have a job and I don't have anything, and my gap year is up. And it was really sad for a while. And in that day, in that moment, it was actually at a time where oh my gosh, where I couldn't apply for fall college. It was already like almost Christmas, right? It was October or November or something like that. And I was just sitting there after the cruise in October and just sulking for days, and days turned into weeks, and I was just so masochistic with my own pain there for a while. And it was really, really easy to just feel like nothing. I don't know what gave me the strength in that moment, but there was just at near the end of one of those days, I was sitting there, and I was literally just sitting there, and some sort of energy came into me, and I was like, this is not right. This isn't good. What am I doing? And I got up and I applied for tons of jobs in my area, and I applied, more importantly, to several colleges. And this was a really, really big deal for me. Now, in the meanwhile, I started my new job, and it was really freaking hard. It was actually in a grocery store, and I was managing an entire section, and it was it was back-breaking work, to the point where I forgot how to say back right there. Anyways, it was really hard work, and I was just waiting for the day when I would get the reply letter, whether or not I was going to go to this college that I've wanted to go to for years. And finally I got it, and I got accepted. And I still had to work meanwhile. And I'm sorry for that background noise, by the way, but it was a weird period of time there for sure. But I was so motivated, and I wasn't as sad anymore. And then I finally got here, and it has been great. It has been so amazing. And especially those first few weeks, I was waking up at 6 a.m. all by myself. I wasn't sleeping through my alarms. It was incredible. And I was getting to class, and I was watching the sunrise every day. And it was so special to me. However, the past few weeks, that was January. It's currently the middle of March. The past few weeks, I've noticed a shift. And I took a gap year and a half. I was so content just doing nothing for a while. And I don't know what spurred me into applying for all this, but once I was distracted by all those problems, and there were so many problems that came up, I didn't have the time to feel sad. you know? And I've noticed the past few weeks I've had the time to feel sad a little bit. Not necessarily sad, but I've been telling myself it's okay that I don't go to this lecture this time because it's attendance is optional, or I've been accidentally sleeping through a class, or I've been staying in my room more often than maybe I should, and all sorts of things like that. And I've come across a very tough realization for me that it's easy to be sad and it's hard to be happy. But for me, it's almost harder to be not sad than it is to be happy. I can be happy, but I have trouble not being sad. And I think it's because for me to not be sad, I have to be challenged, I have to be distracted, I have to be doing things and tackling things. And that's just so counterintuitive to what makes me happy. And I'm pretty confused. But I think at the end of the day, I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm addressing these issues, and hopefully in a productive manner to where I can find a good balance or a good solution in the future. And I'm really hoping, if any of y'all have felt anything similar, that y'all can share your expertise, because I definitely feel quite lost in regards to all that. And it really just, especially with the big context of life and the background of, oh, I'm finally living on my own and I need to figure out what I want to do, I think that this is really important and trying to figure out, and I've been struggling with it the past few weeks. It feels like it's been such a roller coaster, you know. I had a lot of trouble at the end of high school and with COVID and everything, and then I had a fun gap year where I just did simple jobs, and then I went on a cruise and it was great. But then at my lowest point was when I didn't have a job, and I realized it had been a year and a half since I graduated high school and I wasn't doing anything, and then I distracted myself with more things, and I got a harder job, and I had to see if I could even get the funds to go to one semester of school. I had to work so hard at that job just to support it, and I'm still struggling semester by semester. My payment plan was terminated. I'm having crazy issues right now, but it's reached a point, what is it, week 9 of the semester for me, where I'm not feeling the pressure somehow, for some reason or some way, and maybe that's not the right word for it really, but I'm not distracted anymore. Maybe I just need a change of environment. Is that the common thread? I don't know, but I would love to know how. I know how to be happy, but I'm having trouble not being sad. And I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out, and it'll be fine. And also, I'm playing Sky Factory 3, if you're wondering. It's a fantastic game. Please let me know if you have any thoughts. Thank you.